Hi guys. So over the last few months I've seen a lot of posts on social media about a game that we all love and sometimes hate called Sea of Thieves. Now before I even get into this video, I just want to say that the only reason I'm recording this is because I genuinely care about the game. Despite its issues and the bugs, I still have such a passion for it. Now I stream this game full-time on Twitch and I actively create content on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, and it all centers around Sea of Thieves, so it's safe to say that I'm very invested into this game. But what that also means is that I see a lot of comments and opinions too from the community. Those who are in my community know that I don't usually make videos like this, but I also like to keep it real. I like to be honest with you guys, and I'm definitely not one of them fake streamers who can just like pretend everything's fine and be like, yeah, the game's fine, like nothing's wrong, it's so good. I just can't do it. So yeah, I guess I wanted to make this video to explore how the community is truly feeling about Sea of Thieves right now. Now, I can't lie and say that I haven't noticed a shift in the dynamics between the community vibe last year compared to how it is now. It's just different. I even sent out a tweet today asking you guys, what do you like and what do you dislike about Sea of Thieves right now, currently? And it's clear to see that like so many people are frustrated, but a lot of people still have the love for it as well. Let's just say I got a lot of responses. I feel like the way that I've been describing this game recently is kind of like that relationship where you know that you should move on and leave because you can explore other things that make you happier and is way more healthier, but you still stay in that relationship in hopes that it gets better. Does that sound familiar? Anyway, let's look at some of the main key points that you guys were telling me. So the single most talked about thing that I've seen is a lack of anti-cheat. In case you live under a rock, it's very, very common to run into hackers and cheaters. I personally think that the Season 8 update that introduced Hourglass PvP dives brought out and encouraged this behaviour even more. If a game brings out rewards that are unlocked by investing an insane amount of time and effort, you can expect a minority of players to try their best to get these rewards illegally. Now, I'm not saying cheating has never been an issue with Sea of Thieves before, but as someone who has played this game for almost 5 years consistently, I can assure you that running into cheaters used to be rare, which is how it should be. Someone flying in game and dropping kegs on your ship should not be a common thing. In fact, it should be that weird of an occurrence that you genuinely are shocked by it. Right now, you see a pirate teleport to your ship and keg your boat, and are we shocked? Nope. We just think, oh well, same ship, different day. This game desperately needs an anti-cheat, and I am praying that someday, soon TM, this is implemented. Building on that last point, I think the increase of cheaters has kind of ruined the vibe within the community now. I remember every fight that I used to have on Sea of Thieves always ended in GG's, oh nice shots, you guys are cracked, have a nice night. And whilst you still do get good pirates that respond like this, most crews that I sink either one, tell me to f off, or two, report me for hacking. Now, whilst I am not a hacky Kraken X, I do kind of understand this in a way because cheating is so common that when you actually come across good solid players in this game, it's very hard to recognize whether that player is actually just very skilled or whether they are in fact using an aimbot. So this has led to an increase in accusations, which again shifts the good vibes of GG's and fun fights to a more salty vibe. Having said this, a lot of people still love the naval combat system, and I have to agree. I can't think of another game where you have regular gunfights, cannon fire against other ships, and underwater combat too. The unique naval combat style is honestly what sets this game aside from all the other games and makes it stand out. It has so much to offer that once you start playing, you literally get hooked. I'm sorry. I'll say that naval combat, as in firing cannons, it feels pretty good right now. So this point right here actually really stood out to me. A lot of the Sea of Thieves veterans, older players, and more experienced pirates just feel ignored. Now, from a business perspective, I can understand that you want your game to feel accessible to everyone and you want new players to keep on playing and coming back. But let's be real here. Sea of Thieves has the easiest plunder pass to level up. If you look at any other game like Fortnite or Apex, they all have battle passes too, but it's very more balanced. That's not a sentence, very more balanced. It's more balanced. There ain't no way that I'm completing the Apex battle pass in 6 hours. Not with my skills anyway. but you can literally complete the Plunder Pass in one dedicated play session. So a lot of people just feel bored. Not only that, but if you look at the items that go into the Plunder Pass, you'll notice a lot of these have already been released previously, or they get used again at a later date. The Legendary Curse, for example, that was the top tier 100 reward for completing the Battle Pass in Season 1 all the way back in 2021. Did it stay rare? Nope. It was re-released as a cosmetic that you can buy if you have level 105 in Guardians of Fortune in 2022. Golden Sailor Cannons as well. They were initially released as a celebration for Sea of Thieves' first birthday. And I won't lie, these cannons generally meant a lot to people because it marked such a special time. It was nice to look at another ship that uses them and realise, wow, okay, so these players have been playing for a long time as well, that's so cool. But then they were re-released in 2023, this year, for the game's 5th anniversary. And all you had to do was like literally hit a skeleton ship with a cannonball. So yeah, if you're a new player, then you received the Golden Sailor Cannons, the Golden Sailor Wheel, Prosperous Captain Sails, X marks the spot sniper, and the Fabulous 5 eye patch. But guess what, older players? You know what you guys are getting? This. Literally 4 out of 5 of those rewards were recycled, and people already had these cosmetics and still use them with pride to this day. Now everyone has them. I definitely understand a lot of older players feeling pushed aside. Items staying rare in a game is not a bad thing. If anything, it keeps the game healthy and thriving because people know that if they have a limited time to get the cosmetics, they need to load up that game right now and play it. Should we just give the Shrouded Ghost commendation to everyone now to make it fair? We could, but then does the Shrouded stay as special as once before?
Everyone's special, Dash, which is another way of saying no one is.
Speaking of feeling ignored, I feel like a lot of the PvP focused players also feel ignored because of a few things. In my opinion, this all kind of started with the removal of Arena, which by the way I understand. A lot of negative interactions were mostly coming from Arena, and towards the end, less and less people were spending time in it. It makes sense for a business to stop investing in something that isn't performing well, but it wasn't underperforming because nobody enjoyed PvP, it was underperforming because of the way it was set up and how it worked in terms of gameplay. It was just not good, but that's a story for another video. There's still a massive amount of players out there who love and have such a passion for PvP in this game. For a long time after Arena was removed, there was just nothing. Then came Season 8 dives, which initially were great. The option to have PvP on demand and fighting other crews who actually want to fight back is amazing. But fast forward almost 8 months later, and now you have cheaters every few fights, endless black screens, not even being able to get into a fight that makes you forfeit all of your supplies and streaks, hit reg, you name it. So yeah, it's pretty hard to have a good time in this game mode right now. And the only major PvP update that we've had since Season 8 was launched is the removal of harpoons. But for PvE updates, there's been new loot added, new commendations, new adventures, new mysteries, and we even have new Tall Tales coming next month. So you can clearly understand why the PvP community feels ignored compared to the PvE community. But the key word that I keep saying is community. And I think one of the biggest reasons why Sea of Thieves is still so successful is honestly the community that surrounds it. The people you sail with or meet on the waves becoming long-term friends, or even fiancés in some cases. If you can find a crew that you enjoy playing with and you can laugh with them, then it's a lot easier to ignore all of the problems in this game. Things like Sea of Thieves Fest or Fest of Legends wouldn't exist if people didn't care about the community, and ultimately people wouldn't go to these events if they weren't invested. This game is built on being an open world sandbox game where you're always bound to run into other players. So as much as we might run into toxic crews, good encounters still exist, good players are still out there, and I think that's what keeps bringing people back again and again to play this game. So, do I think Sea of Thieves is a dead game? Nope. I still see a lot of people playing this game and enjoying it for what it is, and that is great. But what I do think is dying is the sense of community, like the vibe within the player base. I feel like a lot of love that used to surround this game has just kind of vanished because of everything that we've spoke about in this video. Like, I've never seen so many people who used to spend so much time playing and streaming Sea of Thieves that are now just putting all their effort and energy into different games. And that's fine, but it makes me wonder, are they not playing Sea of Thieves because they genuinely just don't want to, or because they can't? Like, for me personally, I would love to be able to play and stream this game for 12 hours straight like I used to every day last year, but I mentally just can't right now. So yeah, it makes me wonder. Anyway, I hope that we really do see improvements over the next year. I do have faith that things will get better, but let me know what you guys think. You guys know I really do care about community and your opinions and what you guys are feeling, so let me know in the comments what you think.